I'm so happy to report on how our trip to Yellowstone went from our personal experience now. So we traveled to Bozeman, Montana, because that was the airport that was easiest to go to. And we knew that we would have a nice hotel that we could stay in because the area around Yellowstone is a little bit rustic, so don't expect to have nice hotels near the Yellowstone entrance. So what we did is we stayed the first night in Bozeman, then we drove down the next morning to West Yellowstone. It was late May, but before June, so that we were able to beat the crowds. We were able to go into West Yellowstone, and in preparation for going, I read a book about Yellowstone and what to be prepared for. And I have to say it is a lot easier to get around Yellowstone than what the book shared. So all the major sites are right off of the major roads. And we even went with my mother-in-law, who's 82 and doesn't hike, obviously, at that age, but was able to go on most of the excursions that we went on to when we went a little bit off of the main road. So even if it's somebody that may be older, they can still enjoy Yellowstone. So the first place we went to is we went down to Old Faithful. It was late enough in the year that the facilities down in around the Old Faithful area, they were opened. We were able to eat there. We were able to go to see Old Faithful. And we were very fortunate that it had erupted just about the time that we got there, so we didn't have to wait long. Sometimes you have to wait up to 90 minutes to see that. I would recommend not buying gas in the national park. It's going to be a lot more expensive. About $3.70 a gallon. Outside of the park it was $3.14, still expensive, but not as expensive. So just something to be mindful of. Then we worked our way all the way back up to the west entrance, and that was our first day. The second day we decided that we would go up the northern route, and we drove to the farthest point north. So we went to the north entrance, and there's also a nice small town there, Gardner, and you can visit that town and see some gift shops. But we saw the entrance, which was just incredible. In late 1800s is when the entrance was first built, and it's when Congress had approved Yellowstone as being the first national park. Early 1900s is when the president at the time, President Roosevelt, had put the cornerstone into the entrance of the gate at that point. We got to see that. We were able to see Mammoth Springs, which was another highlight of the trip. And then we went a little bit out to the eastern part from there to see Lamar County and see some of the wildlife that was prevalent there. We saw the petrified tree, which wasn't too far off the beaten path, wasn't an amazing sight to see, but it was easy enough to get to, so worth going and seeing. And we saw many other different sights along the way back as we ventured back toward the west entrance again, because we stayed in West Yellowstone. And then on the third day, we went to the eastern part, went all the way down toward the lake area of Yellowstone, and then made our way all the way back to West Yellowstone. So we went to the fishing bridge, which was our first stop. Amazing, beautiful area to see. Then on the way back, we saw numerous waterfalls. We went to the canyon area, saw the beautiful canyon of Yellowstone. We went and saw the South Rim, which I think is the most beautiful part, where you'll see some amazing waterfalls. And then we went to the North Rim, and then we made it back to our hotel. It was an amazing trip. 3 days was plenty of time. Then we went back to our hotel in Bozeman for the last evening so we could catch our flight for the next day. Definitely a trip that you should make.